So this is the other update, one of them. I cut down a lot with a chainsaw, a lot of the older pin cherries, and they were as big as these guys. I mean, they went up and up, and they're just a hazard, and they were dying off anyway, so I cut them. Eventually these guys will get cut. This one will probably get ripped out. But the update I wanted to show you is actually over here with these guys, because they shot up from the ground, right? Actually, right here, this is interesting. This is, you just have to know how to grab them. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, a lot of thorns on that little guy. That's the blackberry that I have inside. You notice how all this died? Well, it all died, but I got the good stuff inside. So, get off me. Okay, so yeah, that died. But the other stuff that I'm rooting up is still alive. You notice how it's still green, and that one is dead. So no, what I wanted to show you for the updates is the pin cherries. They have a lot of good new growth right here that's happening, and I think I can graft into this thicker material. It's about a year old, so it's graftable. It's young, vital, good growth, and I think I can put, maybe a summit or a sour cherry or a knocking cherry. Two of the knocking cherries survived, by the way, barely, but they survived. And again, same thing right here. I really think I can graft onto this guy. He's about 2 years old, but maybe I can do some grafts right in there or something, or maybe I want to do grafting closer to the stem. And then, I mean, look at it. I cut those three. I left this as like, a little canopy, and these guys just shot right up. I mean, God just allowed them to shoot right up. And I mean, look at that. You can graft to all of that. So maybe if I get some scion wood, if God allows for that, we'll graft right to these guys. Not all of them. Mainly just the thicker ones that you're seeing right there. The thinner ones we'll let grow, And what happens, happens. But that's one of the updates. Another one of the updates is all the way over on the other piece over here. So I gotta walk over. The snow gets all there's my feet. Man, oh, that sun does feel nice. I tell you what though, ever thought you could have sun and snow at the same time? It's possible, because that sun is not hot at all. In fact, I'm not even burning. But it's funny because the snow will reflect the sun's rays, and you'll actually burn. Yeah, you will burn from it. Did I pass it? No, I did not. Okay. There's the greenhouse again. We already went over that. Where is this little guy? Okay. So that California plum seedling that I did in a video way far back. The other one died, but this guy split into three, had a little hard season, but if you look, he has buds. He looks very weak, but I'm just gonna let him grow, because I mean, that came from the grocery store. I got the plum, I ate it, I chilled the seed for 3 months, and here it is. So if it comes back in the spring, I'll be so amazed, because, naturally a cow, oh, now it's everywhere. Look at that, the snow's everywhere. There we go. And see, the problem is, the sun hits it, and then it melts, and then you got wet pants, and it's cold. That's not good, so you gotta get it off while you can. But if that guy comes back, which I'm hoping he does, if God allows for that little guy to come back, I think I'm not even going to graft him out. I know before I said I would use him for a base rootstock, but I have another update. Okay, I'll show you that one next. I just want to see what he's going to end up like. That guy right there, did not survive, I believe. That one did. That was the other California plum where those two sticks are. Did not survive. This was a Native American plum. Did not survive because I moved it in the wrong time of season. That guy survived, and I believe that guy over there survived. But now I'm going to show you. Actually, I do have another update. Can you believe it? We have to go far back in the woods for this guy. Woo, and it's cold. You hear the wind? I'm just going to let you hear the wind for a second. Yeah, there it is. Now look at this. That's where it banks up. But you know, you wouldn't believe it. Well, you guys and girls in northern New York, you would believe it. But this is nothing. When I was like 2 years old, back in '98, you remember the ice storm in '98 we had here? It went up at least to the hips. I was 2, so I was like this, so it was above my head. There was so much ice. There, you would have like that much ice hanging off stuff like this. Power lines were broke. Yeah, so this is nothing. This is just a dusting. This is nothing compared to what we used to get. That's the pond. And that's a Pepsi box frozen in the pond. Won't get that until spring. Be curious to see if it gets preserved. Anyways, the other update, remember that plum tree, the Stanley plum? It took well right here. I put it in the woods. I put it amongst all these guys to give it shade. You know, got maples, birches over there. You got a beech right there, the one with the leaves still on it. And here he is. This little guy, he took well. He grew this whole section. He grew another section right there. And he just took real well. So, I mean, it's because there was a good source of water. I mean, right there, the pond, that smoothness, that's the water level. So he's hitting the water perfectly right here. And then, you know, I didn't want him to be alone. I got this guy on trades. He's also a Stanley plum. So I put him by him. So now the two can be together. And my plan is to actually use this part of the land. And we'll go into this with videos and stuff. I'm going to try to clear it out and put more plums in, because I know they like to be surrounded by taller trees. They like more shade. They like to be clustered. They like to be in the wet. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I took the natural settings of the area that I have, that God has allowed to be here, and I put them where they naturally like to grow, and they're actually doing better here. If I had them out in the sun, they would burn. So, you know what? I'm thanking God for these big trees, because they provide shade and stuff. And this tree is young. You think he's big? No. Let me show you an older tree, but still, look at these guys. These are still young. Look at them. They're still young. But the point is, here's the point. Those little guys where the Stanley plums are, you see them? They'll turn into these, and these guys will get even bigger. Oh yeah, look at this, look at this. Try to knock that down. Can't even budge that, the wind can't even take it. But no, that's what I was wanting to do. Again, I wanted to get into using the natural resources. So we own all this land. Eventually, I'd like to go in there and use it for the apples, the pears, the plums. Cut out all the bad stuff. All the weed trees that like to grow in the swamp here. Let the sun come in, soak up some of that water, and then put in some good fruit for the family for years to come, and friends alike. So that way, if they ever come here and we have a good harvest, if God blesses us with a good harvest, more the merrier can come and take part in the harvest, because that's the idea. That's the idea all the way through. You know, it may not happen, but as you can see, we cleared out this area up to here, And now all this. And we were clearing it out just to get rid of this scrub wood. But as I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, why couldn't I use some of this for my own purposes of grafting and rootstocks? And then I started thinking about it. Why couldn't I use some of the natural fruit wood here that's no good and graft on good fruit? And if I can do that here, I can do that anywhere in the world, right? So I'm going to attempt it here, and once I get it down, I could go anywhere with this, if God allows. That's the big holt right there. If God doesn't allow something, it ain't gonna happen. But if He does, nothing's gonna stop it from happening. There is one more update. Ooh, walking around in this cold, eh? Oh yes. We're in December. Hopefully the U.S.-Canadian border will open up. Got family over there, haven't seen it in a while. But more importantly, it would bring more of the Canadians back over here. Yeah. No, here's the other update. I went right past them too. I went right past this. And this is actually what I'm talking about, okay? Oh, now I gotta walk through that? Oh. Okay, just bear with me. Okay, we're walking through it. I'm so glad I'm thinner. At least I can walk faster. Okay, it's worth it. It is worth it. It's freezing today, but it's worth it. Okay, so this is a wild black cherry. They're supposedly, they do give off black cherries. Small though. I haven't ever seen it. This guy is young. And we have more of these in the woods. And I thought to myself one day, you know what I thought to myself one day? Here's what I thought to myself one day. Why can't I use this as a natural rootstock and I put a good cherry on it? I graft a good cherry onto a cherry. And since this is a wild black cherry, I was thinking Black Tatarian, Bing, or one of those darker, sweeter cherries onto this. And then I was also thinking one day, you want to know what I was thinking? I was thinking one day, here's what I was thinking one day. You know how I normally graft way up here? Well, I've been learning structure. And for me, I'd want to graft right here, real close to this guy, right there. That way he has a better chance of surviving. He can hold more weight. And I mean, just look at the structure that God has allowed here. Look at those branches. I mean, they're starting out so incredibly well. So if I graft only an inch away, they're playing around right now. An inch away, right here, all the way up, a good cherry. One that's good to eat, one that's good to taste for the family, for friends alike, right? Because I don't get paid for any of the grafting I do here at all on the land. No, this is pure joy. But I was thinking, no, I'm learning structure. So structure says, this is a supporting branch. This is a lateral. You prune your laterals, you keep your supporting branches going straight. However, when you graft, you should graft onto a supporting branch and close to the stem, right to the heart of the tree. This way, it's strong as it is now. So, and this is a beautiful tree, by the way. This is a black cherry. And if I can get some scions, I'm going to graft. I tell you, I'm going to graft to this guy. If God allows me to get some scions for him. So, we'll see. I mean, that was the other update. That again, and there's natural crab apples that have these little tart apples. But what I'm thinking is that I take these tart apples and use them as rootstock. So I let the crab apples grow up, right? and then I graft a good apple onto there, and it's naturally already here on the land. I don't have to go out and buy it. I'm using my resources that God has allowed me to have, and I'm using scion wood that I can get on discounted prices, or I can swap and trade and make connections and new friends with. So there's so many pluses. The only downfalls is that it'll take a little bit longer, that may not be as effective. But you know what? I'm willing to take the risk. I really am, because I think there's something good on the other side of the tunnel. So that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to see how it works. I mean, for crying out loud, I was foolish, and I tried to attempt to graft English walnut onto a black walnut, and as you can tell, it did not take. But did I give up? No. This thing, it's still alive, so I still have a chance to let it grow and become something like that guy right there. But this one, this is where I really honestly think there's something here. I know y'all just see a tree, but I see potential. I see potential in these branches, in this stem, the structure of it. I see a rootstock that can be grafted to all the way up. I don't have to cut it down. It's perfect the way it is. And I can take my time. You know, patience is one of the fruits of the Spirit, right? Along with love, joy, peace, happiness, faithfulness, all those, right? I can be patient and just graft one, maybe two. And if they take, then graft another one. And I can stay with variety. What that means is, if I do Blacktitarian here and here, instead of making this multiple different types of cherry, just make the whole darn tree Blacktitarian. If God allows. I really think I can. No, I think God can do it. Not me. That was wrong. God can do it. If God chooses to. You see that tree? Isn't that something nice? I mean, he just allowed that to grow there. I was talking with my dad. I'm like, so you think if I get some good scion wood, I can graft part of this over? He's like, yeah, go ahead, try. I'm like, sweet. So that's what I'm doing. Well, we'll see. We'll see. If not, then not. But either way, it's just a joy that I get to see it grow, and that God allows it to grow. I believe those are all the updates. And again, I'm really looking to get into the woods there, because again, a lot of those bigger trees provide shade. And the one thing I learned from this past grafting season was anything on the line that was young that I grafted to on this line, because of that sun right there that you're looking at, it burned it. Pretty much all of them. But anything on the tree line or in the tree line survived because of the shade and the water. So, with that being said, I'm going to move my grafting efforts back there. I'm going to use the natural trees. I'm going to use the rootstocks that I bought. I'm going to use up everything, so that way I'm using it. It's having a purpose. And I'm not going to give up on where the sun is. No, I'm not going to let that sun right there stop me. No. It may stop the plants from growing, but I'm going to find a way to get these guys to grow better. I can be stubborn with that, but I don't care. Hey, you sun. You back down now. You can't tell the sun what to do, nor can you tell the wind where to go. The only one who can do that is Jesus. It's true, though. It's true. I laughed, but it's true. Okay, that's all for now. Gort out. And blessings, by the way.